Hello guys, Dizzy here. I think it's time. It's time to give the damn Sorc some respect. They say that it has the least build diversity and the weakest, more or less, of all the Diablo classes. I beg to differ. I'm gonna show you a build that will shock your feet off. And I call it the Emperor Sorc. Why? Because it throws nothing but lightning. You know, just like in Star Wars. You have the Emperor that throws his force lightning around. This build is pretty much like that. And it uses ice armor too on the side. So, without further delay, let's get to it. Before we continue, please do consider electrocuting that like and subscribe button so that we can shock each other to hell. Now, let's get to the video. Alright, to start off, let me flex a bit. This build was able to take down a level 45 stronghold while still being only in level 35. So, check out the level at the number at the upper right and check out the character level number near the health globe. So that is the potential of this Emperor Sorc build. I don't know if this will still be that powerful once you go past level 50, but in the lower levels, this is fairly powerful, as you can see. Now, having shown you that, let me show you the passive scripture abilities. As you may notice, almost all of this are shock abilities except for ice armor, which is obviously there for survivability. Now, the main idea is you just want your shock damage. You won't even take stuns. You're just going to focus on your blue lightning and shock damage. The basic idea is uh, you want to, especially in the lower levels, you just want to throw all lightning. Why? Because the main theme of this build is it's an auto targeting build. Except for Spark and Teleport, all of the abilities are auto targets. It's like playing an auto battler. It's almost like playing a management game. You just set up your abilities and your gear, you get into the fight, and you just spam that fire button. You don't need to aim, you just click and spam that fire button. Except for the rare instances you need to teleport out or that you need to use your spark to refill your resource, which would not be frequent by the way, because this build regenerates resource fairly quickly. Besides those times, you would just be spamming and not even targeting, and everyone and everything around you will die. That's how awesome this build is. Now let me show you real quick the leveling path. So as you can see, the leveling path is fairly spread out. The basic idea is you want to put 1 point to each of your skills and its modifiers that this build needs. You're not gonna put them to level 2. You're just gonna put 1 point in them so that they are available for you to use, so that your framework of your build is set. Now, there are times wherein if you do that, you won't have enough yet to reach the next cluster of points. You know what I'm saying. You see that. Once, for example, level 11, if you just put 1 point in each of the skills that you're going to use, it's not enough to get the next cluster of skills. In that case, you need to choose another skill or modifier for you to put an additional point on. But besides that, you're just going to spread out your points and complete the base of your build. Now let's go to the build highlights.
Alright, first up is your Chain Lightning, your core ability. Now besides its usual use case of bouncing from enemy to enemy, it serves a special purpose when you're down to one opponent, especially if it's a high HP target. What it does, if you notice, is since you only have one target, when you fire it, you'll bounce off of him towards you, then immediately back to him, and so forth and so on. And every time it does that, it deals an additional increased damage. Plus, it also refills your resource. So it serves both as an offensive and resource generation tool. So let's go to the Lightning Spear. As you can see, its general use is like a fire and forget offensive weapon. It's like a firing a missile that can hit multiple targets. You just fire it and forget about it. It contributes to the build's theme of being a fire and forget build. Okay, next up is Pulsating Currents, which serves as the ultimate of this build. Now, as you can see, with it, I was not only able to fry everyone in the mob, but I was also able to get some crackling energies from it. which gives a couple of implications. First, uh, unstable currents give me additional damage boost directly as an ultimate ability, but also it helps me scale my damage up by giving me the chance to get crackling energies from those mobs that I kill. And that in turn, those crackling energies in turn would give me additional damage in the form of pulsating currents, and it would also partly refill my resource. So my damage and my resource generation can scale with the number of mobs that I encounter, theoretically. So also that implies that feature of this ultimate contributes to and to the automatic nature of this build. It gives further consistency to the automatic nature of your offensive tools in this build. So it's really very nice. As for the rest of your abilities, they serve a more supporting role as compared to the others that have already been mentioned. So, for example, your Spark or basic skill, it serves primarily as a resource generation tool. Although, of course, especially in the earlier levels, it's the damage that it can deal is significant. But later on, its role will be more of a resource generation tool. And then for your ice armor, it's just there merely to add to your survivability and to mitigate your squishiness. You just spam that as much as you can, as often as you can. As for your teleport, it serves also as a defensive tool to mitigate some of your squishiness, but more importantly, although it does damage as well, but its most important role is to get you out of sticky situations and to keep you from being permanently or significantly crowd controlled, especially given that you die so easily. So that's it for the build highlights.
So that's it for this build. If you guys are still here, thank you for dropping by. And as always, see you on the next one.